This is your host Steve from the back coming at you again, raw and unscripted as always. And obviously this is the most uncomfortable setup. I always talk about me hanging over the mattress because I don't have a mic. I used to have a mic. I don't have that mic anymore. To tell you the honest truth, I think that honestly, I could be wrong, but I think I left it over my ex-girlfriend's house, and there's no chance of me going over there for I don't know, whoever knows how long. So I don't know, but what I wanted to talk about, you guys, in this rant is this is now I'm gonna say this already. This is not. This is what's the word? This is speculation. This is opinion, and this is speculation. As a matter of fact, this is YouTube, so this is for your entertainment. But what I want to talk about is like truly. Now I'm going to link a video in the description. I'm going to link it in the description. This is like I talk about a lot of times about and the reason why I'm going to link this video is because that video that I'm linking in the description, that is not from my channel, it's from another channel. It truly illustrates, like very vividly in your face, it illustrates the modern day fall of man. Okay? Or the complete crumbling and the complete fall and the complete degradation, that's a good word, I guess, degradation, of the modern man. And this is why, like, you know, you hear these, they call them old heads, you know, guys older than me. I'm 35. This is why, you know, you hear a lot of these guys who are like in their 60s, even older. You see these videos that are very popular. Some of these videos are popular where like you have old school rappers, like, and the only reason why that's relevant to this is just because, guys, let's just be honest. Hip hop culture, hip hop culture, and gangster rap has a lot to do with this nonsense. So, and don't get me wrong, like, I love it, I listen to it too, and I always have, but the problem is clear. The problem is clear, and I'm not saying that's all it is, but what I'm saying is, you know, you get these videos, and it's like, you get an old school rapper, and this guy might talk about, like, oh, you know, what's with the younger guys, their bodies are just covered in tattoos, like, not one or two tattoos. You know, but just like a canvas of tattoos. Just it doesn't even make any sense. It's like, how can you admire your tattoos anymore when they're all blotched together anyway? That's what I have to say about that. Like, you know, if you're a tattoo person, I mean, there's kind of like, when is it too many tattoos is my question. You know what I mean? Like, are you focusing on the quality of the tattoos, or are you focusing on the quantity? Because if you're focusing on the quantity, you might as well just start tattooing over what's already there. You know, this is not about tattoos. What this is about is the degradation of modern man. And this goes deeper. This goes to, in my opinion, this is like, you start to see and this is some other things that I'm going to talk about. But I'm starting, what always have been, but what I'm really starting to notice, like, more clear, is the death of the soul. You know what I mean? The death of the soul. A lot of people that are in prison, for instance, that are in there for like their entire life, basically a life sentence, their soul is already dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, really think about it. It sounds messed up to say that, but like, think about how their soul is already dead, or their spirit may have already been broken to a degree. You know, they're just living out their sentence, and they will ultimately die there, an old person. But you got to understand, some people lack a spark, or how I'll say this is basically the chance of a spark that could be created, the healing that could take place possibly in certain people, the healing that could take place, that would be what I would just using the term of spark, would be the spark of life. They will never really have the chance to have that. Okay? Or what I'm saying is they inherently might just be so evil. Let's just be honest, guys. They might just be inherently so rotten and evil all around that there's no chance of that ever happening, because that does not exist in them. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean at first glance that's what you would see, but that could be exactly just what they are. You know what I mean? So there's really no chance of that. There's no chance of that spark of life. There's no chance of that goodness flourishing to be anything that would ever be of substance. So it's already dead. You know, like a zombie. You know what I mean? Kind of like some type of zombie. You know, that's how I look at it. Like someone who's just given over to their own madness. They're given over to just their own just impulse. They're given over to their own it's like their own cold inner existence that just could never go beyond that. You know what I mean? Like like I said, it can be very subtle. It doesn't mean that they're like a character or something like that would seem like just this evil person, but really there's not much there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, people, but the reason why I'm saying this is because, like, okay, I've talked about this before, and this really isn't a thing, but it kind of could. Let's just be open. Let's say this could be a thing, right? So, I always talk about how, like, now in the how do I say this? In the time frame when I was basically like a newborn child, basically. Now, what I'm basically trying to say is, like, movies and things sometimes have a habit of mirroring certain things in reality. You know, whether they seem far-fetched or sci-fi. Like, for instance, I always say in '88, you had some of these weird, you had all this sci-fi stuff going on, but then you also have to mirror that, and like in this cryptozoology community, we know that like there was real activity going on. It wasn't just movies. You know what I mean? Like there was the sci-fi movies going on and all these monster movies, but was there really real activity of all of that stuff going on simultaneously at that time? Of course there was, but there was before that, though. You know what I mean? But what I'm talking about when I talk about this evil behavior, this like these evil people, I can't really say it, but I almost want to call them the new. you guys have seen the hilarious the Uncle Ruckus song, "Don't Trust Those New." You know, they're like the new. It's like if we were the old, you know, they're the new. They're the new guys. Like I don't know I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what's in the air. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what it is. But this link that I put in this video, this is exactly what I'm always talking about how this degenerate, evil, weird, dead is like the most prominent word I could really use, because it's all dead. It's all dead. It's like these dead people, living dead people. you know, like, you know, I'm laughing because I'm thinking it's two things at once. You know, these living dead freaking people. It's like, in the link that I'm going to put in this video, like, really explains, like, I don't have to really say much about this is the exact type of person. This is what I mean. Okay? And it's so subtle, too. It's very subtle. But then you're realizing, like, wait a second. This person set themselves up for complete demise. You know? And I'm not saying that it was, like, that they didn't I'm not saying that they could. I'll be even honest. I'm not saying necessarily that they can help themselves either. That's really the problem. You know what I mean? Is that it seems like they can't. Well, there goes there go there goes the video reel. There goes the video trying to play itself. But like I was saying, you guys, like I said, this whole living dead thing, and it's like, now I know we like to joke around, and me even personally on this channel, like even on some of the pictures that I'll, this is so uncomfortable, sort of, but it's uncomfortable trying to talk to the camera like this. When I go lay down, it's comfortable. But now, you know, what I'm saying is, now I may depict pictures of myself in a way to where it is jokingly calling myself a zombie. You know, like I'll put, fake green, the fake green frothing of the mouth, like the green stuff oozing out of the mouth, and that is pretty much just a joke. That is just me being edgy. That is me just making the joke like as if I am so sold out to evil, or if I'm so enthralled with the things that are dark that I'm a literal zombie and there's green crap coming out of my mouth. There's not really green crap coming out of my mouth, obviously, you guys. There's never there's no green crap oozing out of my mouth. Like, come on, it's a joke. It's not really happening. But if you want to flip that, what I'm talking about with these people acting like zombies is something way more serious. This is not people pretending or taking a picture and then putting a certain effect on something as kind of like a ha ha funny joke or something, because they just really think it's funny. This is nothing like that. This is actual people, like I said, who, number one, these people are on drugs. This is what we just have to talk about this, which adds to this zombie-like state. You know what I mean? These people are on drugs. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? This is another one of those things I always talk about with the connection between modern gangster rap and this modern culture and the toxicities. Like, there was a time where people, would look down upon people being such heavily drug users. Now you got this thing where it's supposed to be cool, or not even supposed to be cool. It's just kind of like a recreational, what's the word? A recreational norm, almost. I guess I'll call it that. Where if it's not the weed, it's other drugs, and a lot of times these drugs are strong. These are type of things that are not recreational. Really, you can't. There's no recreation in this. This is people taking things on that they can't control this stuff. This is an addiction. This is setting themselves up for an addiction. And we see instances like this when you see the people with fentanyl overdose and they're on the street and they're literally on the sidewalk and they're dying and their body parts are literally having effects of decay and things like that, and infections and all. And it's just like, this is what I mean. Now that's more extreme on the drug side of things, but you have to understand the lifestyle thing. Okay, the lifestyle I mean is like when a person doesn't want to do much more than just that. You listen to this person talk in this interrogation. This detective is asking him, well, what did you do the week prior? Where did you sleep? Who did you hang out with? What were you doing? And this guy, he's trying to avoid these questions because he doesn't want to get caught and all this stuff. So, he's saying he doesn't remember. He's saying, and it's all BS. But, and that ties into everything I'm saying again, too, is the lying, the secrecy, people just, they're just not honest about things. They're just so elusive, and everything is some scheme. It's like, two-faced. It's very false. It's very deceptive. It's like just very, very, very deceptive and elusive. it's like having fake friends. It's like that. It's like, why are you hate you mean to tell me that you're gathering with these people just so you can get high? My question to you is like, why are you even so comfortable getting high? Like, if you want to take it to a spiritual level, right? Because I'm not a person who always tries to connect spiritual with like recreation. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, every time that I smoke, it's a spiritual experience. No, no, I understand that like physical things I can do that transcend my psyche to a degree. Spiritual things are happening because that's just part of what's going to happen. It's a science that people don't connect that to what they're actually doing. But my point is this. My point is, why would you want to be in a state to where you are spiritually open around people who are such trash? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, these people clearly prove that they are trash because you see what's always in the mix of this thing. You know what I'm saying? These are not the most, you know what I'm saying? These are not savory, honest individuals. It's not so. It's one thing if you are doing certain things and you're doing them in the right context because it's the right context, the right place, and the right time. But this desperate piranha-like behavior, what I've seen is like this whole, you guys are just gonna gather to get high with people that will probably stab you in the back, or if they are simply just there for that point, place, and time, probably just for the high, but also they don't have much. You're not adding. Like I said, the fake friends thing. It's like they're not really. It's quantity over quality. Like they're not really adding much to whatever. It's kind of like a trap house. Like you think you get the trap house idea where they're gonna go into this trap house and man, they're just gonna get high. You know what I mean? Like that's all the trap house is. They're not going there. It's not a very. It's like the same way a bathroom is. People go to bathrooms like public bathrooms to relieve themselves. It's not a very warm experience. You know what I mean? They're just going there to dump things into that toilet. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. People go in the bathroom to use bathrooms. I look at it like that. It's like, so, but why is it so prevalent that you get these people? They're that eager to gather to what, smoke? But we see this behavior time and time again. Or we see, like I said, you see people doing these things so excessively when you think, would you not be putting your energy towards something of more substance? Like, or is it, which is, I wouldn't say okay, but I mean to each his own, is it that, I guess that's all you want to do, so that's all you want to do. So there is no, I almost would feel like it would be better if you were doing it to medicate for some reason or something. But see, I can't even say it's neither here nor there because it really is all relevant. But my point in this whole thing is like, this is what I mean about the degradation. It's like we live in a world to where, hope I didn't break it. We live in a world to where there are evil people who want us to be isolated, okay? There are some really evil people like that. And sometimes it's just your enemies. They would like you to be isolated because they don't want you to make good connections. They don't want you to meet healthy people. They don't want you to meet people who are on your level. They don't want you to meet people who have the same aspirations or hobbies or interest in things like that. They don't want to see that type of synergy that brings people, a certain type of group, up. They would rather either bring you down to their level as much as they could in any way, shape, or form, or they're, like I said, very evil people in positions of power who, for whatever reason, they have a desire to see man's spirit fold. They have a desire to transform something that was healthy and natural, or to transform a being that was healthy and in line with nature, they would rather try to turn it into something that is a degraded form of what it once was. And it's horrible, but that's what really we're seeing. And when I see this type of crap and this type of behavior, this is exactly what I mean. This is that I'm going to link in the description. This right here is exactly what I'm talking about when I do these type of rants. This is what I be talking about, you guys. Like, I'm not just trying to sit here and just get on a high horse or whatever, you know, because I can admit my wrong just as much as I can admit my right. But the thing is, I'm not going to lie to change what the truth is. There's no point in that. You know, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just telling the truth. But this is an example. But one of the things I always have to contrast this to is like I said, the person who is not about that type of bullcrap, you know, the type of person like myself who doesn't want to subject themselves to that type of behavior and culture because I know how toxic it is. Like, I know how these people, the superficialness, you know what I mean, the self-medicating, the walking zombie syndrome. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like doing nothing but doing everything. You know, or like it's like you're so active, but to nothing. You know what I mean? It's like running to, you know, run. It's like running a mile to get high. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna run a mile just to get high. You know what I mean? You're all over the town or something. You're all over the street for nothing. You know what I mean? It's like for nothing. You know what I mean? Um, what's that thing they call it? I know there's a word for it, but I don't know if I could even say it right or even remember the term. You know, it's something about like diminishing returns or something like. It's kind of something like that. Like it's to where like, you know, you're giving so much of yourself that you are becoming nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and it's for all the wrong reasons. You know, it's like the tattoo thing. Like all face tattoos everywhere. It's like your hair looks dirty. I'm just not trying to be mean, being petty, but I'm just saying what I see. Like, bro, at least did you like? Why is your hair looks like you ain't even washed it? You know what I mean? You got your jail mugshot. You look crazy. You look it's just retarded. Like your tattoos look horrible. It's like scribbles. What I mean is like there's no quality there. Where's the quality at? You know, it's like why do you have something on your body that's gonna last that long? And it's not even like nothing's quality. It's like does it mean anything? You know what I mean? I dare have to question, what does it actually mean to you? Does it mean anything to you? Like, does it mean anything? Yeah, it's just, and I know that's superficial, like the appearance, because yeah, you could have dirty looking, greasy, crazed hair. You could have tattoos all over your face, but guess what? You could still have so much more going on at the same time and have that look. But the problem is, like, you ain't got much going on but that. And that's nothing I would say is going on either, because there's nothing going on about that. You look like a fool anyway, but, like, you get my point? This is my point. You're making decisions that make huge impacts in such a short time span. You're living this life of excess, but nothing. It's not luxurious, but it's excess to your own detriment. You're taking out of what you can't put back. It's just all. This is what I mean. Like, what the hell is actually going on? Well, that's exactly what's going on. And then another thing about this person is, you can tell this person is so conflicted that they are not even honest about half of that's going on. You know, this is the type of person that to me would murder someone, clearly, but would murder someone to hide something. You know what I mean? It's like, makes you wonder, you know what I mean? So, like I always say, man, it must be something in the water, man. It must be something in the water. Something's fishy. None of this makes sense. You know, these behaviors don't make sense. You know, sometimes I feel like you just have to call a spade, and you could as much want to wish and hope that, like, something is a positive thing when it's, and you just know damn well deep down that it's not, and you know what this is like, and you know that out of necessity, this type of culture, I'll put it like this: there is a place for everything. There really is. There's really a place for almost darn near everything. I'm trying not to use profanity because I want this to be able to, like, family friendly. But you do realize that there's levels to that. Like I said, there's a place for everything, but there is a place to where, you have to realize something needs to be done with. Like this needs to be done away with. Um, like I said, you know, parts of this type of culture and this type of behavior, which is very modern day, and it proves itself. Like, why do you think you have SoundCloud rappers calling them things like Lil Xan? Like, you mean to tell me you named yourself after a drug? You named yourself after a drug? You know what I mean? Like, what's the next guy named? Ketamine? Is that going to be his name? What's going on here? Like, what's the next one? Lil Opioid? Like, what are the names that you guys really want to call yourselves? Like, what does that say about you that you're calling yourself that? Like, I know it can be a joke. Things are funny. I get it. You do really edgy stuff to just laugh. But the problem is this: it's not just a joke, because this is not, like I said, there will never be green anything come. That's sci-fi. There's no green stuff coming out of my mouth. In reality, that's impossible. But could I actually get hooked on Xannies? Yeah. Could I actually do that and die from it? Yeah, that's real. So you be the judge. You get my point? This stuff is not a joke. There's no joke in this. It's not a joke because these are people actually really living their lives out in these terrible ways, and seemingly as if, like, this is they're living this out like if this is Grand Theft Auto, if this world is Grand Theft Auto or something, if this is a joke. Like, I guess that's fine if you really don't care what the next day holds. You don't care whether, anything, but, like, that's the problem right there. I feel like that's the problem. Okay, that is the problem. Now, I always say to each his own, though. Like, to each his own. So you could do whatever you could do whatever the hell you want. That's all on you. But I think well, not anybody. I think most people would agree with me that, like, there's a problem with this behavior. That's what I'm saying with these rants. Like, there is a serious problem with this type of behavior, and this individual in this video that I'm going to link in this rant is the exact everything. It's like literally like he was an amalgamation. I can't spell that word. It's like I wanted to, but I couldn't spell it. So I'm like, I know how to say it, but I can't spell it. He is an amalgamation of all of the nightmares of that someone could imagine. Why I think that this is toxic in this type of culture, modern day, this society. This in particular type of mixture, this is what I mean. This person is what I mean. They're literally like a friggin' Frankenstein monstrosity type of image of everything that's wrong. Everything that's wrong. Every bit of it. Everything that's wrong with it. Like I said before, cold and dead inside. Cold, just cold and dead and cold and dead, almost seemingly artificial. Like, I almost have to wonder, like, are you even real anymore? Are you real? Like, because real people don't seem to act like this. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they do, but just like, you almost don't want to believe that this is a real person. You almost don't want to even believe that. Like, you want to believe that it's just a joke or a character or something. You don't want to believe that that's a real person. Like, but it is, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying, and it's terrifying in the way of, like, it's not terrifying like intimidating, like the person is terrifying, but it's terrifying like as if, like, you think, like, it's like when you see someone putting themselves in harm's way and you are you're just awestruck at, like, that a person could actually be like that. Like, you're like, this person, something like, something is bad. Something bad is going to happen to him too. It's like, you ever seen someone lose their life? Not seen like when it happened, but you heard after, like, oh, so and so passed because, or I've had it happen to me before, and I'll tell you, this has happened to me many times with people. Is where I saw it coming. Like, that's the only way I can put it. Like, I saw it coming, and I was just like, dang, man, that person, they're lining themselves up for something. Like, it's not good. You know what I mean? Like, I already know. Like, I'm like, they ain't gonna last too long. You know what I mean? Because of what they're doing or how they're. It's that type of thing. And then you got to think, like, if you were a parent of that person, I'd imagine, or a certain family member or something, or a close friend or something. If you really care about that person, like, I think it would terrify you in that same way. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not long before XYZ happens. You just know. Like, it is not. They are living off borrowed time. They are living a life that their freedom will not be theirs for much longer. They are living a life of where you can tell, like, this is it's just this. It can't end well. There's no way that this is going to end well. And that's exactly what that is. So I'm not going to go on any longer. This should not go on past like 30 minutes, really. But like, I did the videos, I think it was 2 or 3, the secret powers of fire, where I was talking, kind of like allegorically about how, like, how the fire needs to burn this stuff away. You know what I mean? The fire needs to destroy this stuff. This stuff needs to be burned. It has to be burned. It has to be destroyed. This is the toxic behavior. This is the toxic stuff. These are the toxic things that, like, at first people may come with a guise of, like, all inclusivity. They may come with a guise of non-judgmental. You know what I mean? So it's like thinking, like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, who said that? Now, hold on a second. Like, who said? Nothing. No one said anything was wrong with this person's lifestyle, this person or that. No one said that. But guess what? We're going to judge people if they're bad people. You know what I mean? Like, you're bad if you're doing things that are degenerate. There needs to be some critique of that, I would think, right? Because that it's kind of like a world, it's kind of like a global world type of universal thing. Like, what toxic is, right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to pick that out, right? So it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, trans, a unicorn, attack helicopter, a cornhole, a pie hole. It doesn't matter what you are, right? So we all get that, right? Like, we know what BS is. Like, BS, we know what BS is. Like, so we know when the BS has to be stopped. Like, we know when this is nonsense, right? It doesn't take, like, any real scientific process or some weird, like, no, it doesn't take any of that. We just kind of know, right? Inherently, as an intelligent human, you know what I mean? And that's my point. So, people try to come with the gut, but the problem is when they come at you, that all they're really doing, and I've said this before, they're just trying to find a loophole to sneak the BS in. They're trying to find a way to sneak all this degenerate behavior in. It's because what they want to do is make it seem acceptable, and if they can make it seem acceptable, they're just making it easier for people to make bad decisions. That's the way I'll put it. They're just making it easier for people to make very poor decisions that they'll regret. And someone would say, well, that sounds like a monumental way or thing to even do. Like, how are you going to make people who are rational and sane and normal make such horrible decisions? Well, like I said, you come at them with different angles. You come at them with, like, oh, well, actually, no, you shouldn't judge. Oh, okay. Why shouldn't I judge that? Shouldn't I judge that? No, well, actually, you shouldn't, because it's always something. This is what I mean. You don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. That's really what this boils down to. Like I said, people come with all this nonsense. They try to make everything seem like, oh, well, if you don't accept, it's an attack on. If you don't, no. That you're taking it way. You're taking things out of context now. Now you're just You're trying to confuse people to get them to do what you want them to do. You want them to make those poor decisions, and that's why you're coming at them with those type of angles. That's it's really that simple. You know, it's not as simple living it out, but it's really, if you were to say it, that's what's going on here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the rant. This is going on for long enough. This is your host Steve from the back. Like, comment, sub, hit the bell, and make sure you check out this person's channel, and you check out this video in particular because, like I said, this video I'm linking here explains, like, it just shows everything wrong with this individual, this type of nonsense, this type of crap, this type of archetype, I guess you could call it, this archetype that they're trying to turn people into. They're trying to turn society into this. This is insane. This is insanity, you guys. This crap is crazy. There's no way this crap could work. This is what happens to people like this. You know what I mean? And I kind of don't really feel too bad for them either, because, like I said, it's all about the decisions, and like I said, the dumb decisions. You know, no one's putting a gun to your head to do this. It's more or less, like I said, it's a creation of making people believe that something is real in their minds, that either it's not that it never should be real, or it can't be real. It's like you can't, it's not going to work. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to, it's a fantasy. It feeds into a very unhinged, very degenerate part of a person. It speaks to that part of them, but you got to realize that that's one of your deranged fantasies. You know, that's something that you may want to role play with your partner or something. Put it to you like that. Like, you want to think we live in a world like that, where it's this wild, you know, drug infused, debauched, like, wild scape, like that ain't gonna, that's not reality. It's not. None of that is reality. You know, you want to play that out, like you want to role play that, fine, by all means. You can role play that any way you want. Like, you could role play it with your partner. You could fantasize about it in your head. I can't go and say it. You could make a LARP off of it. You could play a character in a movie or something. Whatever, you could play, but look, that ain't real. It's not. It's a fantasy. It's not real. So unless that's what you want, like the video I'm putting in this rant. So until next time, you guys, this is your host Steve from the back, and have a good one.